Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, my friend Julie sent me a clip of Audrey and Bree kind of doing a debate. And I want you guys to take a listen to it because it is insane. Guys, in my opinion, Bree is almost like a drug-fueled imbecile, in my opinion. So let me share this. Let me share the video and we're going to go through this because this, in my opinion, is crazy.
Be disrespectful, sure. But if you're coming up here just for content, no. So what's the answer? Because not doing it.
And
If it's for the latter.
And she's not giving you Gypsy's record, sorry.
Yeah, she starts invalidating her abuse and whatnot. We don't do that here.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay, I got to stop it here. I know we just got started, but we're going to talk about invalidating Gypsy's abuse. Can we first prove that her abuse was as bad as what she said it was? Because to me, with Gypsy coming out here and talking about, you're invalidating my abuse, you're invalidating my abuse. With her doing that, in my opinion, she is kicking everybody else who had childhood trauma in the teeth. We've all had some type of childhood trauma. But with Gypsy saying what she's saying and with their little cult doing what they are, it's ridiculous. But let's continue.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I literally only have a few minutes because I am about to walk out the door. And I just wanted to say a few things. Bree, first off, I wish you was clear with your chat that I have never made fun of you and called you trans. Whenever people have come in my comments and said that, I have said, I do not know and I do not care. That I don't think that is something to mock somebody.
Well, you don't know. I think you do know. I'm not trans, and I think you don't have to defend me with that. But what you should tell people is that what does it matter, and why are you using that as an insult?
I have. So I just wanted to clear that because you got people in the chat who don't realize that. Another thing, talking about the EEG, and I'm not going to get into all the evidence and shit because, like I said, I literally just have a few minutes. I have shared a scan that showed she had activity. So I would love to know what you have
activity
that shows she didn't have activity. Because again, I have the scan that shows she did. You tell me you have proof of this, you have proof of that.
Activity of what? I don't know.
Seizure activity, sorry. EEGs are for seizures.
No.
No?
I know which record you're talking about. That's not what it says. That's not. And you know that time she was at the doctor's appointment that she didn't even have Tegretol in her system, which is a red flag. And you know that same record that you're talking about is the same record that the doctor said there's.
I want to stop this right here. But if you guys remember back in the Dr. Phil days when Dr. Phil actually had her on there, she was talking about she was taking Tegretol and all of this stuff. And that's the reason why her teeth rotted. Do you guys remember that? Because she blamed that. She blamed Tegretol on her teeth rotting.
Possibility of Munchausen by proxy. Did you know that?
Did you know that?
I don't know what it's connected to. No, I've just.
No, I'm saying because that record, that doctor's mentioning those things because he's eventually going to get to that last paragraph where he says, yeah, there's a strong possibility of Munchausen by proxy because none of it adds up.
He doesn't say strong possibility. He just says there's a possibility.
No, he says
but
strong possibility. You want me to show you? I'm going to show you.
He said strong.
Can I finish what I'm saying?
Yeah, but yeah, you can finish what you're saying.
Does he not finish that sentence with, though, or an underlying unknown etiology? Yes or no?
Do you know what that means?
Yes, an underlying symptom. An underlying condition. Sorry, not symptom.
Right. Do you know what that could mean? Because people think that is automatically like, oh, that means, do you know what Munchausen by proxy is? Munchausen by proxy is the fabrication or the exaggeration, which means that it's not just exaggerating or making, it's even inducing that sickness or faking that sickness. So there could be symptoms. Gypsy could have, okay, so Gypsy has a chromosome disorder. Her mom's entire blueprint, if you actually were to see all the records, is built off of that. If you were to do it like a graph.
Okay, hold on. Can I interrupt you? Because again, I don't have a lot of time. And Bria,
I know this is the only way I can answer this question is by saying this though.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to make it fast. Okay, if I did this with the records and if you were to make a chart, like a box chart, like, you know, do like a graph, well, not a graph, but like a whole bunch of cubes, whatever. And if you were to go through everything that Gypsy has gone through with her medical history, okay? And if you no, if you take that and take chromosome disorders and say if you one line you put all the different chromosome disorders, and on another side of the graph or whatever you put all different symptoms and diagnoses you can have, there almost every single one overlaps with another. There is no chromosome disorder that is so specific that only has this or only has this. So, which is why you see Gypsy's mom claiming she has cerebral palsy, she has muscular dystrophy, she has there's so many different things.
Because they knew that something was wrong with Gypsy. And now, years later, we find out that Gypsy lied to her mother and said that she couldn't feel her legs. And she didn't want to tell her mother this. Why isn't Bree talking about this? That's what I want to know. Why isn't Bree talking about this?
She's going through the whole list of anything you could possibly imagine and going to all different doctors because she knows she has a chromosome disorder because she knew since she was born, and anything could have, like, any of those things could end up being true, even though 90% of them weren't. And that's the reason. Underlying symptoms, meaning that she could have underlying symptoms. Most people who do this to their child, they do have underlying symptoms. Most of the child will be a child that has some sort of like ailment or sickness that does not affect their life in a way where they can't live a normal life, but they will use that and exaggerate it and add on to that and fabricate it. That's what that means. That actually is important. That's an important component to that whole sentence, because a lot of parents do it because of that. Like Gypsy's mother, that's the mental illness side of it. That's what makes her not a monster. Like,
can I talk now?
Yes, you can, but okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and talk, but what I'm saying is important. But go ahead and talk. Go ahead.
Well, it's because you're hitting 5,000 different points, and we need to go one.
No, it's not 5. That's not 5,000.
So that we stay on topic. And because, like I said,
that is the same topic.
Somebody said a countdown for me. What does that mean?
No, don't worry about that. It's not going to do anything.
Okay. You're saying her mom used it as a blueprint. I've never seen anywhere that they said she had a chromosome disorder at birth. If you have that, share it with me. I would love to see it, because there's no way she worked off of a blueprint for this micro deletion if she didn't know at that point in time she had it. That makes no sense.
Yes, it does. And people that have been covered in this case know this. By the way, people that have been covered in this case, people that are not on my side know this. Her mother, and that's what they say. They was trying to figure out which one it was, and they finally found out.
No, it makes no sense, because her mother did not know that she had this 1Q21 point. She did not know this. So how could she follow a blueprint of what is wrong with Gypsy if she didn't actually know which chromosome disorder she had? And how could she mimic a chromosome disorder that hadn't even been found out yet? How? That's my question.
Yes, she did. Her dad said that her mom, like in interviews, he talked about how her mom said she had a chromosome disorder, that she wasn't going to make it until she was 12, until she was 16, until she was that was way before she ever found out Wakan. He's been telling her that since she was younger.
Those are interviews he gave after all this. I want to see proof before.
Go to Megan's Law Catalog and go see the blog. Go see Dee blog. When Gypsy was 16 years old, which this happened in 2011, she was diagnosed, okay? Which means she was 20. I'm trying to explain it to you. She was 20 years old. How in the fuck would Gypsy's mother be able to put in a 16-year-old blog when she was 16 years old that she has a chromosome disorder? Because she always knew. Most of the time you find that out, maybe not the specific kind, but most of the time, because Gypsy had microcephaly and she had the laser, you can find out if you have a chromosome disorder at birth. It's because of the year the test came out.
Yeah, you can now. But back in 1991, it wasn't as sophisticated. So she did not know she had that specific chromosome disorder. They did not know that back then. It was not as sophisticated as it is now.
Specific kind, she didn't find out until 2011. But guess what? Her mother never told doctors about it, though.
Microcephaly is not you.
Then why did her mother, and we've seen this, her mother signed for all of her doctors to get all of the medical records? Every one of them. Her mother signed. And her mother even put the different birthdays and the different ways Blanchard was spelled.
To a chromosome disorder, though. It can be caused by a multitude of things.
I never said that it was. It wasn't. I never
Okay,
said that.
okay. Sorry,
I'm
I
saying there's
thought you were
multiple.
saying that.
I'm saying that her lazy eye, but even beside all of that, most people find out at birth if their child has a chromosome disorder, not the specific kind, but you can absolutely find out. But yeah, like her mother had this mentioned in blogs before Gypsy was ever 20 years old. People that have been knowing this case for a while, they know this. Like they will say this, but their narrative is, yeah, she knew she had a chromosome disorder, so this whole time she was just trying to figure out which one it was. But that's not true, because why? If that was the case, her mom would be telling the doctors about it. She didn't tell any doctors. She never told any doctors.
So you just said her mom said it, but then you said it's not true because she didn't tell doctors. Then how
No,
was she
what are you
using it as a
talking about?
blueprint?
You're
Is what
not
I'm
listening
saying.
to me.
Stop cherry picking half of what she's
I'm not
saying. to
cherry
fit your
picking.
narrative.
No, Big Sheena, we're hearing you, Big Sheena. How could we not help but hear your big fat mouth?
That's why. Can you let me
Bree,
complete?
do me a
Okay.
favor. Can
No.
you silence everybody other than me and you? Because like I said, I only have a few minutes. I'm not trying to.
Oh my gosh, I gotta take myself off screen. I gotta use my vape. This is just, oh my gosh, this is upsetting. I tell you.
Let me try to
have a
let me say this
legit
again.
conversation.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so you
What
ready?
the fuck?
So
Yes.
Gypsy's mother knew this since birth. People know this that cover this case. Now listen, what they say is that, yeah, Gypsy's mother knew this, and that's what she was trying to figure out what was wrong with her child all these years. And finally in 2011, they figured it out. The reason that narrative cannot be true and isn't true is because, don't you think if you knew your child had a chromosome disorder since they was from birth, you would tell doctors that? That's what I mean. She didn't tell doctors about the chromosome disorder. She knew she had one. She didn't tell doctors about it. That's what I'm saying. So if that narrative was true, that she's trying to figure out which one, she would be mentioning it to doctors. Why would a doctor's not going to be looking for shit that Didi ain't even telling them about? That's because she didn't tell them.
How would
Because
Didi know that she had a chromosome disorder if a doctor had not told her that? Didi is not.
What do you mean? A
in
doctor
her-
did tell her that. A doctor
But
at
you
birth.
You just
No,
said.
you're not listening to me. I said she didn't tell any doctors. Didi, like when she moved to Missouri and stuff, she never told. There's not a single record where she says she has a chromosome disorder. Ever.
Exactly my point.
Oh my God, you're not. How do you not comprehend this, or Audrey? She was diagnosed. Okay, Dr. Paul. Dr. Paul is.
Bree, how do you not comprehend this? Dee Dee signed for all of the medical records. How do you not get this? This is why nobody can debate you. I have to hand it to Audrey for trying.
His birth doctor. He delivers DD. Your child has a chromosome disorder. Okay, thank you for telling me. Okay, here's.
It would be put in her records. It would be put in Gypsy's medical records. Because in order to find out if you have that, they have to do blood tests. And that goes into the medical records.
She takes Gypsy home. And she's 7 years old. Well, she goes to doctor all those other years. She's 7 years old. She goes to Dr. Dennis. New doctor, never seen him before. Okay. Oh, she's going.
No, I'm still here. I don't know what happened.
Okay, you had a big box. That's why I was confused. Okay. So there she said Dr. Dennis, okay? Dr. Paul, she hadn't spoke to him since Gypsy was born. She knows Gypsy has a chromosome disorder because Dr. Paul told her. But she ain't telling Dr. Dennis, and she ain't telling Dr. Eric, and she ain't telling Dr. Danny, and she ain't telling Dr. whatever. She's not.
But the medical records that they get would say it. Because anytime you go to a new doctor, they ask you to fill that out so they can get your medical records.
Them, because if she tells him that, all those years that she got to just guess around and just throw out disorders and continue to fabricate shit, it wouldn't have worked, because they would have been able to pinpoint it, and more people would have been able to know exactly what's wrong with Gypsy, which would have been nothing other than lazy eye, microcephaly, nothing that is like detrimental, or nothing that is gonna like hold her back or anything like that. That's what I'm saying. It's not, yes, the doctor told her, but she didn't continue to tell doctors throughout her life. So if the narrative is true that she just wanted to figure out which one it is, she would be telling the other doctors that that's what she had, but she didn't.
But if she wanted her to be quote unquote so sick that she needed constant medical attention, why would she not tell the doctors, hey, this child has a chromosome disorder? Because that would make her chronically ill.
I just literally explained that to you. You want to know why? Because Gypsy's chromosome disorder doesn't affect shit. Do you see Gypsy today?
What do you mean it doesn't affect shit? Yes, it does affect shit. It affects a lot of them. Why don't you ask those parents where you went into their Facebook group for children that have this chromosome disorder, and you guys try to go in there and try to break their narrative of their sick children. Oh, it makes me so mad.
She has a lazy eye and she has microcephaly. Nothing is wrong with her. That's why. Because they would have been able to find out literally that nothing's wrong with her. Why do you
So
think
you're denying her makeup bag full of medicine? It's on the show.
What?
You're denying her makeup bag full of medicine that's on the show?
Wait, you think just because there's a makeup bag full of medicine that she was supposed to like, what do you mean? You know how many records show Gypsy with nothing in her
Are you
system?
for real right now? Like, are you seriously?
I don't understand what you
right
mean
now?
by that. Are you saying that if you see a child,
Now you're about to hear the cult all go in on Audrey just because she mentioned something, because this is the cult mentality. They all have to go in and bum rush one person, because see, Bree can't just debate one person. It has to be the whole cult, and then they go in to an attack.
say if you see a sick child, or you think they're sick, and there's medicine in the bag, you think, oh, they're not abusing their child, there's medicine in the bag. Oh, they're good.
No, that's not what I said, Bree.
Then what are you saying then?
You said she's perfectly healthy today. I'm saying a perfectly healthy person doesn't have a bag full of medicine, babe.
Did you look inside of her bag? Did you know what every single thing is inside her bag? What bag are you talking about?
It's a gray bag. It's shown on the show.
Shown on the show. What was in it?
Fucking obsessed.
I
So
would
she
have
was
to go and
pregnant
look
on
to
a show, so she could take,
That's their number one thing. Oh, they're obsessed. They're obsessed. They're obsessed. We are obsessed with getting the truth out there. That's what we're obsessed with. Oh, it makes me sick.
a scan that showed she had activity. So
guys, let me see. Let me see. I lost track. So hold on, guys. Let me see if I can find it.
Wait, she proved me wrong?
Hold on.
no,
Like,
you don't
you're
take all
weird.
those
You're
when you're
fucking
pregnant.
She's not
weird.
here to learn anything.
No, get the fuck
Bree.
out of here. You're fucking weird.
Okay,
You're fucking
She's there
weird.
just
I'll
to
get off,
cause
but I want to say,
problems.
Bye.
Can I
You're
say-
fucking
Get
weird.
content.
Gina, I don't
You're
make money.
fucking weird as fuck. Get the fuck
That's
out of
all
here.
she wants
Like, you
to
ain't never
do.
had no
She just
children
wants to
before?
cause problems.
Prenatal vitamins. So her mother gave her prenatal vitamins? No, she didn't.
And when you're pregnant, you don't have a whole bag full of medications that you take. You don't. Yeah, you'll have prenatal vitamins. You may have something for heartburn, maybe for constipation. But are you going to have a bag full of medication? But listen to how they end this. Listen to the attacks. Listen to the words that come out of these people's mouth. It's just disgusting.
Fuck. So there's one thing you got wrong. Y'all, this is somebody who is a mother, by the way. A mother.
And you're not, Bree. So how do you know what Gypsy's mother was going through? Because you're not a mother.
So y'all, if you're a pregnant woman and you're
Fucking
taking those, you're probably
embarrassing.
fucking really sick. And you probably shouldn't live a normal life. Because this weirdo said so. That was the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. Me too. You just made a fucking fool of yourself. You had a chance to come up here and have an actual conversation, and instead you chose to make a fool of yourself. Congratulations.
No, Bree, you're the one that made a fool out of yourself because you can't shut up. STFU. Oh my goodness, just shut up, Bree, and listen to somebody. I think if she would quit having, fangirling Gypsy, maybe she could see the real truth, but she can't. We're going to finish this up before we go.
That was probably one of the stupidest things I've seen. Wait, she proved me wrong?
It's another example of the
Christy,
smooth brain that we have going on.
She
in this
proved me
community.
wrong. How? She just said, you dumb fuck. Listen, I'm big mad. No, you know what? I am mad. I'm mad that someone like that is making content that is harmful to victims and survivors. You're damn right, Christy. You're damn right, because I actually give a fuck, unlike you.
All right, guys. She doesn't care about anything. The only person she cares about is Gypsy. That's the only person. If she did care about things being harmful, then she would care about what Gypsy is doing. But she doesn't. She doesn't. Guys, we're going to end this here. I love each and every one of you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.